Hello students, I welcome all students of Diploma first year, first semester to the presentation session on the paper Communicative Skills. So let us start with Unit 1 on the topic Comprehending a Text Using the SQ3R Method. Let us go through the table of contents first. It's the introduction, the SQ3R method, application of the SQ3R method, SQ3R method, its importance, identifying the central idea of a text, reading comprehension question types, sample question types with examples, and conclusion. Let us know what the SQ3R method means. The SQ3R is a reading comprehension method that has been named for its 5 steps, that is the survey, question, read, recite, and review. The method was introduced by Francis. Let us move on to the application of this method. The first point is the survey. First, you need to take a few minutes to scan the entire text. Next is question. Ask yourself questions about the text that you scanned during the previous step. Read the text while keeping the structure from step 1, that is S, and the questions from step 2, that is Q, in the back of your mind. Next is recite, and finally review. Next is the method SQ3R method and its importance. This method is beneficial to readers because it activates knowledge and thinking about the text even before the student begins reading. It allows the student to review information as he is learning it. It creates study guides for students who can use to review for tests. Now, identifying central idea of a text. While the main idea is usually in the first sentence, the next common placement is in the last sentence of a paragraph. The author gives supporting information first and then makes the point, that is the final central idea, in the last sentence. Now, reading comprehension question types. Reading comprehension has 3 types of questions, namely literal, inferential, and critical. Literal ones are the stated facts in the text, that is data, specifics, dates, traits, and settings. The inferential ones are built on facts in the text, like prediction, sequence, and settings. The evaluative ones are the judgment of text based on fact or opinion, validity, appropriateness, comparison, cause, and effect. Let us now go to the sample question types with examples. Okay. So questions have over the years evolved to different question types to now collect different sets of information. The types of question used in a research study are decided by the information required, nature of the study, time that the respondent has, their willingness to participate, and the time and budget constraints of a study. So let us now discuss some widely used types of questions with sample examples of these question types. The dichotomous question. The dichotomous question is generally a yes or no close-ended question. This question is generally used in case of the need of basic validation. It is also used to distinguish from in between people that have had some or any form of interaction with your brand. In the below example, a yes or no question is used to understand if the question has ever used your online store to make a purchase. The respondents that answer yes can be bunched together, and the respondents that answer no can be bunched together, and both can be asked different questions. Have you purchased a product or service from our website? Yes or no? So this is the type of question that comes under the yes or no type. Next is the multiple choice questions. Multiple choice questions are a question type in which a respondent has to select select multiple choice question or many multi-select multiple choice question responses from a given list of options. The multiple choice question is consisted of an incomplete stem or a question, right answer or wrong, right answer or answers, incorrect answers, close alternatives, and distractors. Not all questions would have all of the above, and these guidelines can be used as deemed fit or that best matches the expected outcome of the question. Typically, single select questions are denoted by radio buttons and multi-select questions are denoted by check boxes. An example of a multi-select multiple choice question is a bank that would like to launch a new credit card and wants to understand the usage of payment merchants would ask the following question, like what types of credit cards do you have? Select all that apply. It may be a Visa, a MasterCard, American Express, Discover, Diners Club, and so on. This helps the bank understand the preference of payment merchant and use that in their new product launch. The third type is rank order scaling question. The rank order question type allows a respondent to rank preferences in a question in the order of choice. This question type is used to understand the weightage that is offered by respondents to each option. The other type of rank order question is a drag and drop question type where the respondent can rearrange options on the basis of importance. Next is the text slider question. A text slider question is a rating scale question type that uses an interactive slider in the answer to select the most appropriate answer in a question. The scale is well defined and on an equal continuum. Rating scales are often used to measure the direction and intensity of attitudes. The example mentioned above can also be depicted by a text slider where either end of the option has an anchor. Question may be, which of the following categories best describes your last experience purchasing a product or service on our website? My experience was very pleasant, somewhat pleasant, neither pleasant nor unpleasant, somewhat unpleasant. Next is the Likert scale question. The Likert scale is one of the most used tools by market researchers when they want to evaluate the opinions and attitudes of their target audience. This type of Likert scale question is essential in measuring a respondent's opinion or attitude towards a given subject. The scale is typically a 5, 7, or 9-point agreement scale used to measure respondents' agreement with a variety of statements. Likert scales are either unipolar, where it indicates a respondent to think of the presence or absence of a quality, and bipolar, where it indicates a respondent to balance two different qualities. It indicates your satisfaction levels with our customer services. Like, indicate your satisfaction levels. For example, like completely dissatisfied, mostly dissatisfied, somewhat dissatisfied, neither satisfied nor dissatisfied, somewhat satisfied, mostly satisfied, or completely satisfied. The next is the semantic differential scale. It is a type of question that asks people to rate a product, company, brand, or any entity within the frames of a multi-point rating option. These survey answering options are grammatically on opposite adjectives at each end. For example, if the National Health Association would like to collect feedback on government insurance policies from the general public, like please state your opinion on the national health insurance, like interesting, simple, uncaring, useful, and so on. Next is the staple scale question. The staple scale question is defined as a rating scale that is close-ended with a single adjective, unipolar, developed to gather respondent insights into a particular subject or event. The survey question is comprised of an even number of response options without a neutral point. Example given, please rate your flying experience with us. Very good, good. For check-in process, quality of food, service by crew, and so on. Next is a constant sum question. Constant sum question is also a rank order question type where the respondent can only select options in the form of numerics. A constant sum question allows respondents to enter numerical values for a set of variables but requires the values to add up to a pre-specified total. This is a numeric entry that is summed up and can be displayed to the respondent. This is a great question type to use when asking financial budget related questions or percentage based questions. An example of this question type is to collect data on how respondents allocate monthly budgets on the basis of their income. Next, let us move on to the conclusion. Here we will be discussing the key comprehension strategies, that is, ways for an effective comprehension. That first of all, it should be activating and using background knowledge, generating and asking questions, making inferences, predicting, summarizing, visualizing, improving your vocabulary, that is, knowing the words that you are reading so that it can improve your ability to comprehend the meaning of the text, using context clues, looking for the main idea, comprehension monitoring. So, thank you, students. Have a nice day.